Namaste everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Today is our second day of the Bhagavad Gita class by T.P. Shashikumar-ji. I'll invite Dr. T.P. Shashikumar-ji for continuing the second day class. T.P.ji, floor is for you.
Namaskaram, Namaste. Glad that many are interested. I requested most of them to chant and then send me videos. Some people immediately responded. That is to confirm that yes, the most brilliant slokas in Bhagavad Gita, at least that. One question, one answer. That is what we dealt on 1st August. So if you know these two slokas, one question, one answer, if somebody asks you what is Bhagavad Gita, you can answer Bhagavad Gita is only one question, one answer. Because Dhritarashtra asks the first question in the first chapter. Out of 700 or 701 slokas in Bhagavad Gita, only 574 slokas are actually Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means what came from Bhagavan. The first sloka is from Dhritarashtra. That was like a question, not even to Bhagavan, it is to Sanjaya. Most of the chanting which Sanjaya gave is an answer to the public who are like blind like Dhritarashtra, or maybe to Dhritarashtra directly. So what is happening was the question, that was the first question. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kima Akurvata Sanjaya. When that question was asked, he was mentioning how the array of armies are there. And that took nearly 24 slokas for Sanjaya to explain. So the first chapter contains maximum out of 41 slokas by Sanjaya, 24 slokas are by Sanjaya in the first chapter itself. That means almost 60% slokas, creating the stage. That is what Sanjaya did. Arjuna had, because it is called by Arjuna's name, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna has to tell all his problems. That is how a psychotherapist, a counseling person has to do. He has to give ears to the person who comes with the complaint. You tell me. You should not talk to the person when they come for counseling. If you don't know them, yes, probably you will have to ask a lot of questions. If you know them, you need not ask. You can give the ear and get all the inputs. So that's what is done here. Because Krishna knows Arjuna, Arjuna knows Krishna, there is no point of discussions. Arjuna has to tell all that he has to tell. So the first chapter, Krishna is not opening mouth. Arjuna is using 22 slokas. Total 47, 24 by Sanjaya, 22 by Arjuna, 1 sloka by Dhritarashtra. So Krishna has no role in the first chapter. Therefore, generally I leave first chapter and then go to second chapter to discuss Bhagavad Gita. But since we are doing for 22 days, we have sufficient time, we don't have to run. Without knowing the platform, there is no point in running. So let us look at few slokas. After the question, Adha Pradamodhyaya Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka, my people, Pandavaschaiva, and the Pandavas. So the detachment is shown, attachment of Dhritarashtra is shown. Kima Akurvada Sanjaya. Kima Kurvada Sanjaya. When you chant, it will be chanting like that. Meaning wise, it is to be split like that. Kima Kurvada, Kima Akurvada Sanjaya. What is happening there? Hey Sanjaya, tell me. Those who came with Utsaham, Samaveta, those who joined together, Yuyutsavaha, with full interest. Like when you go for war, the interest of the army is very, very essential. They make a lot of shouting noise. So the first sloka, except the one up to the half. So 47 slokas means approximately 26 slokas. It is almost, except the last 20, almost it is explaining the strength and the context. The platform is what is explained. From 28 to 47, it is Arjuna's turn. Like all of us are unhappy because of the samsara prarabdham. The samsara is what is my materialistic world, thinking about the attachment which I have without understanding the actual me inside me, which is the Atma. Only the manas and the buddhi wavers around, going around the pleasure, maybe going around the tension, attachment. All that problems are being explained, which we can identify ourselves in all of those slokas. We will not be able to do all that, but at least the beginning, 28, 29, 30, 31, probably they are very good. And the end 47th sloka is where Sanjaya's conclusion for what happened in the war field. The question which Dhritarashtra asked, he is not waiting for the last 18th chapter 78 sloka as we explained the other day. Chapter number 1 also a concluding momentary answer is given. That also we will see today. So the Pandavas and Kauravas, all the Yodhas, the Maharathas, the great warriors of both Pandava and Kaurava. That is what is explained in the sloka number 2 to 11. It's an army description, which is really boring sometimes. It may not be coming into the crux of Bhagavad Gita. Then from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The next 8 slokas, 12 to 20, almost 19. That is how the weapons are getting in hand, how the siren is being given, so that the war starting, the trumpets are coming out from both sides. How the sound is being made, declaration of war. Because it's the first day. Though Bhagavad Gita comes in the 10th day, but the description is given as a day one what is happening. 20 to 27 is Arjuna role. So Arjuna Vishada Yogam in fact is from sloka number 20 to 27. Plus some more on the end. 28, 29, 30, 31, because the platform how Arjuna is seen, that is 20 to 27. 28 onwards, it is his problems and all that. So 21, 20 to 23, 3 slokas, Arjuna. 24 to 27, again Sanjaya. Then 28 to 46, 19 slokas at a stretch, is seeing 21 to 23, the platform, what Arjuna would have felt inside. The distress Arjuna can be seen. The distress Arjuna. And therefore, he is not able to do anything. The last sloka, conclusion from Sanjaya. What do you see in the 26 to 47? We will see our prarabdha karma. What are our prarabdha karmas? Raga, Shoka, Moha. So if you categorize, Raga can be seen in the first few slokas. That is over attachment. Shoka is sorrow. Shoka can be seen in the next few slokas. And Moha is, oh, your brain is not working. Therefore, your conflict between the manas and the buddhi, you are not able to get into a conclusion what is to be done. So delusion, confusion, conflict, therefore distress. It's a beautiful way. If you look at the structure of Bhagavad Gita in the first sloka, the platform, that is true with all of us. All of us have this, the samsara prarabdha. We all think about the rest of the people. If somebody, your daughter went out, not coming at the time which you thought they will be back. As soon as they come, it is not the sadness mood which is shown. It is the anger. Why the anger? It is because of the sadness. Why sadness? Because of the worry. Why worry? Because of attachment. So if it is not an attached person, no problem. So it's all because of that attachment. That is what Bhagavad Gita describes. If attachment is not there, there are many people who are coming in their own time. How does it matter? Suppose a guest is coming. If they come slightly 1 hour late also, you may be very happy sometime. Right? And then you have all that confusion inside you. And that confusion is called Karpanya dosha. That will come in the second chapter actually. So Arjuna understood, my problem is my brain is not working. My manas is also not, I don't know what is to be done. Because indriyas are controlled by manas. So manas is working, it will run. But now the machine is not running. Why? Because buddhi, logic is not working. Manas is also down because of my problems. And what is required? I want your support. That is why the Arjuna, the patient, psychology patient, distressed person, goes to the second psychotherapist in the world. The first patient was Sri Rama and the first doctor was Vasishtha. And now Sri Rama's birth, rebirth is Krishna. Because Vasishtha taught Sri Rama in one birth, and that learning is there in Krishna. So if you learn in this birth, the next birth it may be useful to suggest to somebody else. And Krishna became the Dr. Krishnan. Earlier Dr. Vasishtha treated Sri Rama. But then now Dr. Krishnan is able to tell. And Krishna is also explaining. It is not my knowledge. It came from the parampara. That is also there in the Bhagavad Gita. He is not taking credit. He says it is from my gurus. It is there from the Manvantaras. It comes from my Vamsha, Surya Vamsha. So that's a clue where I am explaining in a different style. That's it. So what is that exactly required? When you go to somebody for counseling, assume that you want to become somebody's student. Most important is what is being explained in second chapter. That is called Sharanagati. Full trust. If you don't have full trust, once in a while you ask suggestion to somebody else. Yeah, I know that anyway Vignesh is going to ask this to 10 people. I will also not give good suggestion. I will make Vignesh happy. Because I am not responsible whatever Vignesh does. Because he is not surrendering to me, right? Once he surrenders, it becomes my responsibility. So what do? I will think all consequences and then speak. So if you need good suggestion from somebody, a genuine suggestion from a guru, genuine suggestion from an acharya, second chapter explains Arjuna became a devotee of Krishna. Earlier he was a friend. As a friend, Krishna is not ready to give any counseling. Only he started giving counseling when Arjuna declared Sharanagati. So, what made Arjuna to become that disciple who surrenders to Krishna? That platform is what is being explained in the chapter 1. So, that's only what we are interested. Not about the war, not about the people around. But that also shows, in one way that is essential, because it shows there are a lot of people on the opposite side who are fighting really. Therefore, Arjuna is worried. But not just that. Sanjaya is also explaining that there are a lot of people around him. Pandavas are not very small. So, though you have a lot of people around you, physically strong, and you know that you are going to win the war, because God himself is beside you, that will not help unless you do a Sharanagati. See, God is with all of us. But God is not going to help you unless you surrender to Him. This is a big message. Everybody says, yeah, God is with me. Doesn't help. God is there everywhere. But problems are also there everywhere. So generally people ask, God is there everywhere, but still why He is doing this to me? Barber shop is there everywhere. By barber shop, barber is not going to cut the hair of everybody who is walking on the road. Only you have to enter and then bow your head and then sit beside him. Then he will cut. Doctors are there. But unless you go to doctor and then tell him your problem, doctor is not going to treat. Bhagavan is also like that. He will not treat you unless you surrender to him. So your physical strength around doesn't help you. You need attachment to your samsara is not what you want. Attachment to Bhagavan is what is essential. So that he will take care of you. So that is the platform where is being explained. If you happen to be that person who surrenders to Bhagavan, then what we explained on August 1st, the first class, for the first question, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kima akurvata sanjaya. The answer will come immediately. Actually that answer would have given, but even Sanjaya is not sure whether Arjuna is going to become a disciple of Krishna. So he was waiting for all that sequence to happen. All the sequence is over, lecture is over, counseling is over, power is given, bhakti is given, layam is given, sharanagati completed. In between there are doubts. So you can also ask when you go to counseling to somebody, what is your credit? That's why some people will say, yeah, I have this credit, I belong to this guru's disciple, therefore I am powerful. I learned this, therefore I am powerful. Nothing wrong. Krishna is also doing. He says, my parambaryam is that. But I learned this. And not even that, you can also quote. Somebody else is telling like this. You can see all these in Bhagavad Gita. With all that conditions are satisfied. Then Sanjaya felt very happy. He said, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhudir Dhruva Nidir Madir Mamaha. So 18th chapter, 78 sloka. End of Bhagavad Gita. The solution for or the question is answered for Dhritarashtra. So it says they are going to win, we are going to fail. That is good enough. But still, we have to go through all the Bhagavad Gita. And first chapter, what made Sanjaya to give an explanation is what we are going to see today. So probably, maybe few slokas we will pick it up based on time. I want to, maybe 8:20, 8:30 I can finish. Then we will have some discussions. So where is it the real Arjuna's tension is shown? That is shown in 10th and 11th sloka, I think. Or maybe that also not required. We could also go directly to Arjuna's feeling. That is also good enough. So 28th sloka. Otherwise we will not be able to go that fast. So if you have book, if you have to refer, 28th sloka, 29th sloka, some books will have 28 is 2 lines and then 29 is 4 lines, and some other book it is in a different style, right? So it doesn't matter. Arjuna Uvacha is the starting. What is that Arjuna says? Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvaemam Swajanam Krishna Yutsum Samupastitam Simandi Mamagatrani Mukham cha Parishusyati Vebaduscha Sharire me Romaharshascha Jayate Gandivam Sramsate Hastat Gandivam Sramsate Hastat Tukchaiva Paridahyate Nacha Shaknomyavasthatum Brahmati vacha me manaha. Beautiful sloka. But then, what made this to see by Arjuna, the whole people? A small sloka which says, where is Arjuna standing? Because he has to see. Approximately 60 kilometer is the war field, say. It is maybe more than that. There are different versions. I told the last time also. If it is 60 kilometer, he was at the 30th kilometer, mid. So what he is seeing? He is seeing everybody in front of him. He has got others behind him. So why did he went and stood there? On the request of Arjuna only. That is explained on 24th sloka. That also looks slightly important. Eva muktva Rishikesha Gudakeshena Bharata. As this has happened, what? Explanation of all that what is in the war field as Sanjaya explained as a small interim conclusion. That is what Sanjaya says. Having seen all these armies in the array, like what he is explaining in the few slokas from maybe 2nd to 23rd, after explaining, as a interim conclusion, Arjuna make a statement. What is that? 21st sloka. What is the 21st sloka? Because we are not doing the whole slokas, I want to give some more. 21st sloka. That's also slightly important. What made him to go and stand in the center? Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna says on 21st, 22nd, 23rd. What does it say? Senayor ubhayor madhye. In the middle of the war field. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratam sthapayame achyuta. Hey Achyuta, each word when Arjuna is calling Krishna, when Krishna is calling Arjuna, if you can note down different synonyms for Arjuna, different names of Arjuna and Krishna, it will be beautiful. Because it says how close they are. That's how it shows. So here, he is being called as Hey, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratam Sthapaya Me Achyuta. Hey Achyuta. Put it in the center of the army's array. 30 kilometers. Having said that, where did he keep is what Sanjaya says in 24th sloka. What does it say? Eva muktva Rishikesha. Having said this, because that sloka starts with having said this, I turned one sloka or two slokas earlier. When I was reading, I thought if I don't tell like this, he said, that's what he says. He told a few more things. What did he say? Put me in the center of the war field. Eva muktva Rishikesha. Like this, after telling Gudakeshena Bharata. See, the next word is Gudakesha. He told the Gudakesha, the Krishna. Like this he told. What did he say? Put me in the center of the war field. That's what is being referred in the 24th sloka by Sanjaya. What he did? Senayor ubhayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. See what sloka we read, what Arjuna asked is where Sanjaya is referring. Same sloka. Senayor ubhayor madhye, in the middle of the Sena, sthapayitva rathottamam uttamam. The uttamam. Uttamam is the ultimate, the best, the magnificent chariot, the majestic chariot. Drove up to that and then kept it there. Why did he keep? Because Arjuna asked. That's why I just read that two lines. Okay. And when you stand there, what you can see? Bhishma Drona Pramukhata Sarvesham cha Mahishitam Vaja Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. The whole gathering of Bhishma, Drona, everybody is there. Samavetan, gathered together. Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. Now you know the word Samaveta. With all that gathered together, combined together, joined together. For what? For Kuru. They belongs to Kuru Vamsha. And Arjuna is seeing all of them. That is what is in 24 and 25. Let us skip 26 and 27. Now go to 28. Having seen these people in array, staying directly in front of him, what Arjuna felt? That is what Arjuna's feeling on 28 and 29th sloka. What does it say? Drishtvevam swachanam Krishna. Arjuna uvacha. Drishtvevam swachanam Krishna. E Krishna. Now it is not a Keshava. It is Krishna. Because Krishna is the name. I don't have time to explain the meaning of these names. If you look at Krishna, you see the family background, the relationship between him and Arjuna. That is what is the connection line. Therefore, Krishna is very close to him. Hey Krishna, Swajanam, they are all my people. Though Dhritarashtra thought that it is my people and they, but Arjuna is not feeling my Pandava, my brothers and they. No. He cannot detach because they are the Guru's grandfather, great grandfather, all close fellows. So therefore he says, Drishtvevam. He is not seeing who is beside him. He is only seeing opposite. So whom he is referring, Swajanam, my people. See, that is what it shows. The wise people will never see somebody else as enemy. They are also my people only. Why somebody became my enemy? That is because I know them earlier. So knowing them earlier is my people only. So generally who will become our enemy? Our own close people only will become enemy. Somebody who is unknown people are never my enemy. So if somebody is your enemy, you must guarantee that yeah, they are very close to me. That's why they are my enemy. I don't like you. Whom I can say this? I cannot say somebody who is on the road. I can only tell who has got acquaintance with me. So, Drishtvevam. So, every word can be explained like this to connect to our life. I'll tell you. Drishtvevam Swajanam Krishna. Yuyutsum. And how are they standing? They are all with full interest. Utsaham. Yuyutsum. Samupastitam. They are all present there with full happiness. But what is my state? My state, Arjuna, who is the warrior, the full-fledged, great warrior, the most powerful person in the whole place. Simandi mama gatrani. Simandi. It's all wavering. It's all shivering. Mama gatrani. My gatram. Gatram is what? All the limbs. All spare part of my body is shivering. Not because of fear, because of pain inside. You are not able to do. Mukham cha parishushyati. What will happen to face when you are in tension, not in stress? Tension, distress. Parishushyati. It will start. Actually, the mouth will become dried. Lips will become dried. My limbs are shivering. My lips and mouth is drying up. Simandi mama gatrani. Mukham cha parishushyati. You can read from Arjuna what state is somebody who is going to write most difficult exam in his life. Who has not studied well? No problem. He is 100% sure he is going to fail. Who has tension generally? Good students only have tension. Right? If I am not a good... Dr. DPS never had a tension in any exams. Because I was almost sure I am going to fail. So it doesn't matter, right? So if you are sure you are going to fail, you will not have tension. So Arjuna's state is Simandi mamagatrani mukham cha parishushyati. Arjuna uvacha drishtvevam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupastitam. Simandi mamagatrani mukham cha parishushyati. So if you ask, why Bhagavad Gita? Chapter number 1, 28th sloka. Seeing the state of affair of 28th or 28th and 29th. It splits in two different places in different style. Okay, let us continue because 28th is cannot be split there. Vepaduscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate gandhivam sramsate hastat tvakchaiva paridahyate najas. Okay, let us stop there. Vepaduscha, what is happening? It is really trembling. Cha means and. Vepaduscha, shuddering. And sharire me, the whole body. First he said lips and limbs, mouth and limbs. Now what he says? The whole body. Why should I say only my lips and limbs? Whole body. Roma harshascha jayate. Every hair on my body is creating lot of, because of the stress, too much of pain. It's called nailing pain, as if nails are being hit on you. And I don't know what's happening. Roma harshascha jayate. The whole body is getting pain. Because of that, what is happening? His weapon is Gandhivam. The bow, Gandhivam. Gandhivam sramsate hastat. See the piteous stage? You are writing examination, your pen is falling because the hand is sweating. Sramsate. It is slipping because of sweat. Gandhivam is falling. Though it has got a handle on both sides, it generally don't fall. But his limbs are also weak and it is sweating. Gandhivam sramsate hastat tvakchaiva parishusyate. My tvak, my charmam, my skin is getting cramped. It is giving like a burning sensation. Though all over my body is cramping. Tvakchaiva paridahyate. Nacha shaknomya avasthatum. Not. I am not able to do anything. I am not able to stand straight, steady. My avastha is in that state, not able to stay steady. Nacha shaknomya avastha. I am not able to stand with my energy. I am not able to stand straight. Brahmativa cha me manaha. Brahmativa. I am feeling Brahmam. Brahmam is chakra. I am feeling unconscious because I am feeling giddiness. Brahmativa. I am feeling like I am rotating. Circumambulation is happening in my brain. Though the world is stable, I am feeling the whole world is in circumambulation around me. Brahmativa. And that whirling like effect is making me what? My mind, my manaha, my mind is going like this. It's like I am feeling giddiness. You see somebody who is standing in the war field, he is not able to fight. Gandhivam is falling. And who is telling this? The best warrior, where the whole strength of Pandavas are given to them. Most of the parents, they feel, oh, they could not study well, therefore children will study well, and 10th examination, board exam is coming. Their whole hope is on them. Similarly, the whole hope of Pandavas is on them. And they say that, hey, I am not able to. Any small problem which we have also can be connected to this. So, 28th, 29, 30. I don't know whether it is 28 and a half, 29, 30, but 2 lines are less. That is what is consumed by Sanjaya in the beginning. So, that also we chanted. Now, Arjuna in the beginning and Sanjaya in the beginning, they connected to each other. That's how it happened. Right? So, what is that sloka? Arjuna uvacha drishtvevam swajanam krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam simanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati vepaduscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate gandhivam samsrate hastat त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. This is what the state of Arjuna. Now let us see, is it the real state which Arjuna is supposed to have? Because who is fighting with him? What is their credit? And it is not that Krishna did not speak with all of them earlier. They have explained what wrong side they are standing, why we are fighting, what are the credits of us, what are the wrong things they have done. The credit is Dharmaputra is there, who is standing for Dharma. And the whole war is for prevailing Dharma subsequently after the war. 100% sure all of them who are not with the Dharma are going to finish. And who are those people who have done, are standing there? It's like police is fighting with maybe the thieves or the people who have done wrong. If police started worrying, what will happen to the thief? So this is almost like that. Pandavas are the policing fellows because they are looking after the Dharma. Dharma ji is also there. Jamba Dharma from America. Columbus is also here. Dharma knows where Dharma has to prevail. And who is standing on the other side? Other side is the worst criminals. Right? And who burned somebody's house. If you look at the whole Mahabharata story, what happened before Mahabharata, real war happened. The story, if you read, you understand they were all worst criminals from childhood onwards. They burned somebody's house. So lot of criminal cases are there against, correct? Against Kauravas, 100 people have got lot of criminal cases. They poisoned somebody. We have lot of proof for that. And they killed somebody. Not one, many. They steal somebody's wealth also. So CRPC is there, CPC is also there. Civil Procedure Code also is there. We can have IPC. Everything is there. And they also snatched land from somebody else. They snatched the Pandava's wife also, you can imagine. So the whole war happened with all these CRPC, CPC happened. And they went for negotiation. That also did not work. Nila will understand all this because law student, right? And what is their strength? Love, positive attitude, the wisdom, the universal love. Not that only my people concept was not there for Arjuna. Right? And they know that many people depend on them tomorrow. Therefore, the strength is not these people who are on the war field outside. They are born to be independent. Not too much of problems around them. They could go around, leaving the country also. So all that is done. They have proved without all this also they can live. So they are not fighting for this kingdom and power and position. They are fighting for those people who wanted them to fight for them. So it's not for my benefit. It is for the country's benefit. What is wrong with the Pandavas only? They are attached to these people who are on the opposite side also. So there is only one wrong thing. If that can be cleaned up, everything goes. But that attachment is shown by Arjuna in the sloka. So what is wrong with Pandavas? They are so much attached. They are very, very kind to everyone, even to opposite people. Otherwise, they would have started fighting long back. That kindness, because of attachment, that is the raga dvesha. That is explained in that 28, 29, 30 sloka if you go in between the lines. So if you know that is the problem, all of us also have. And that is what needs a real counseling by Dr. Krishnan so that he will become alright. So what is the first chapter actually explains is That platform were not only the physical assembly of the armies, because of that, plus on Ragadvesha, what going inside Arjuna, that is also being explained with that chanting from Arjuna. The physical appearance of the armies are all explained by Sanjaya. Again, Arjuna is also agreeing. Now what he says, 32nd sloka. What does it say? Nakamkshe Vijayam Krishna. Hey Krishna, I don't want is not. I don't desire. Want is different, desire is different. I want, but not for me. The desire is from inside. The want can be a little bit of momentary thing. I don't want. Na kamkshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhanicha. I don't want this country, I don't want sukham also. Happiness also I am not looking at. Kimno rajyena Govinda. Hey Govinda. You see the next word? Why? Govinda is, hey Govinda, Govinda. The most famous name of Krishna is Govinda, Govinda. You know who will chant Govinda, Govinda? Who want happiness, pleasure. If you say Govinda, Govinda, that chanting, he is looking for pleasure and happiness. That's how it is. So here, the name of Govinda is spelt as Govinda. Hey Govinda, you are the giver of pleasure. If that is the reason, no. Kim no Rajena Govinda. I don't want that pleasure from the Rajyam. Hey Govinda, I don't want that happiness. Kim Bhoger Jividena. Wow. Because of my life, Jividena. From the life from my head, then Bhoger. All that Bhogam. Bhogam is with all that pleasure which is around me, the materialistic pleasure which I have. That Bhogam, that gives me pleasure in my life. I am also not looking for that. Neither I want the position, nor the pleasure, not the kingdom, not the power, nothing I want. Na kamkshe vijayam Krishna, na jarajyam sukhani cha, kim no rajena Govinda, kim bhogair jivitena. Va, even that, va means or cha means and. That or this. Neither this nor that. I don't want anything. That's what he says. Now, let us go to last sloka is enough. Let me see whether the last sloka explains. If not, I will connect it to the previous one if there is a connection. No, I don't think. Yeah, it's straight. Good. Last one. 47th sloka in chapter number 1. Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktva Arjuna Sanghe Rithopastha Upavishat Visrajya Sasharam Chapam Shoka Samvigna Manasaha. I am cutting it, chanting it slowly so that you know where to cut and understand the meaning. Eva Muktva Arjuna Sanghe. In that battlefield where everybody has joined together, combinedly formed that army battlefield, both our people and that Eva Muktva, speaking like this. That means all that Arjuna said is being concluded. This is like a conclusion statement in the after an article is written. The last paragraph. I told you the best paragraph is you read the last paragraph, you know the content of the paragraph. So if you read this, you don't have time. That's why we are reading the last paragraph. What is the last paragraph is? Eva Muktva Arjuna. Like this, speaking. Muktva evam uktva. Speaking like this. After that, after completing this, Eva Muktva Arjuna Sanghe. looking at this war field, seeing them, standing in front of them, having seen them, with all this mental tension, what Arjuna said, everything is told. Rathopastha upavishat. What is happening to him? Rathovastha. On the chariot, upastha, sat there, upasthit, sitting. What is he doing? He is supposed to stand there and fight. He was standing. Now what has happened? He sat there. Giddiness made him to sit there. Finished. War is over. Arjuna can go back. Actually, Krishna could have turned the chariot and then said, Tata, bye bye, I am not here. But Mahabharata war is such, if you are in the war field, you cannot run away, you can only get killed. Arjuna would have been the first person to get killed. Ratopastha upavishat. He sat there on the chariot. Visrujya. What is that? Visrujyam? Kept aside. Throwing out. Visrujyam is throwing out. Visrujya. What did he throw out? Sasharam, chapam, all that arrows which he kept on the back, and the bow, the gandhivam, he kept aside. He is not holding in hand because he already told why he is kept like this. So we already said gandhivam is falling because of the sweat in the hand, and his limbs are trembling, lips are dried up, cheeks are burning. Tummy, no need, it's full fire. Even a blade can burn inside his tummy now. That's what happens to all of us. Our Madhya Pradesh will burn. Uttar Pradesh will become totally confusion. All these happened. Visrujya sasharam chapam. Along with sharam, chapam also has fallen. Bow and arrow has kept aside. He is not even touching it now. Shoga samvigna manasaha. How is he sitting? Shokam. Full grief. Imagine Arjuna, the great warrior, crying. Shoga samvigna. Vignam is, you know what is Vignam? Nothing can be done. Stoppage. Stopboard is there. Vignam. Samvignam. Inside is Vignam. Why inside Vignam? That is tension, distress. If you are in counseling, you know the word tension, distress. This is what happened to him. With grief, shoga samvignam, with distress, being a stoppage in every action which we wanted to do. And not only that, manasaha. It is not, the brain is not logically working. It is not that he forgot that this is the war field. His manas also has become down. Both buddhi nasha and manas also became nasha. Finished. Arjuna is not there. Only the body is there with the name. The power, logical brain has gone, and the intention to fight war is also gone. Buddhi has gone, manas also gone. Eva muktva Arjuna samkhe radhopastha upavishat visrujya sasharam chapam shoka samvigna manasaha. So, I thought 8:15 I will finish with this. 8:15, 8:20 I said, 8:19 we could finish. That's why I skipped most of the slokas, jumped. This is how we will go. So that we are not going inside every room in the house to see. We will have a panoramic view, a 3D model which we will see. Look, do you like this house? Then if time permits, I will get the chavi for the first chapter. Maybe later in the level 2 program, and then we will see. After first chapter is over, we will again go around once again to see second chapter also. Second chapter difficult, but still we will go around some places to second chapter, because second chapter is something which Dharma knows when he was learning in Columbus with me. Every sloka which I take, this is the most important, most interesting, most secret, and then I couldn't stop. Those who have listened to all slokas which I kept on my, because Krishna also says like this. Chapter starting he will say this is the most secret sloka. Next chapter also he will say this is the best sloka which So if you are inside Krishna, you will also speak like that. But we don't have time. We have 22. But we will do a second level, probably higher and higher when we go into details. That's how I did in the last time also. I finished the first, but that time I did not even enter into first chapter. So first time I am doing first chapter like this in my life. Because earlier what I did was second chapter I did finished like this because I love second chapter. First chapter, nothing is important, I said. But then when I went into all the sloka by sloka, I found, yeah, it's not that bad. Some slokas like this, 3-4 slokas only. So if you love to learn few slokas, maybe these slokas you can take. Okay. I don't remember, I will have to check. What I do is in my book I have got connections. Oh, this connected to this connected to this. So if somebody can remind me, if you want me to chant this, I could do that. Otherwise, there are many slokas good. See, 14, 15, 16 and all, somebody loves it so much. Panchajanyam Rishikesha, Devadattam Dhananjaya, Poundham. How does it matter which Shankh he has got? What made him to make this voice? No? Like everybody's conch is being explained. Uvaja Partapashyatan, Bhishmadrona Prabhukhata, etc. etc. It explains. Before that, what are the conch which they had, what sound they made, everything is being explained. Right? So with this, for this series of 22 days, if you don't finish first chapter in 2 days, I don't think we will be able to reach up to 18th chapter. No hurry, but because Dilip ji wanted this 22 days, a fast run, a review sort of a thing so that you know, oh, this is what Bhagavad Gita is. Otherwise, it's most of the people don't like Bhagavad Gita teaching and learning because first chapter is probably most boring. That's what I feel. So if you start with the first chapter, they will say, yeah, good enough. So I did not learn first and second. Actually, my learning of Bhagavad Gita was because of, I love karma. I went to third chapter and by heart. So if somebody asks me whether I know Bhagavad Gita, I know only third chapter by heart. Not only that, but many of the slokas. But third chapter I learned by heart in the beginning. Jayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam dhyojesi keshavaha yamisreneva vakyena buddhim mohesi vame tadegam vadanishchitya yena sreyohamapyunam logesmin dividanishta pura prokta mayanaka nana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam na karmanam anarambhat. Like this I can chant, but not any other chapters like this. Because when you learn, I learned when I was in Bangalore, 22 years. I was 22 years old. So 34 years back I studied. But I cannot study like this by heart now. So if somebody is not able to chant very fast, nothing wrong. Chant very slow. That's why I wanted all of you to chant and send it to me. Chanting faster is not important. Split it, understand meaning. But chanting faster will make you to learn by heart fast. So both are required. There has to be an adjustment of both. Otherwise, maybe Yeshudas can sing one sloka for 2 minutes also. But most of us will sing only one sloka, one verse, 4 lines, 15 seconds to 20 seconds. So if I just look at the time we have taken, I know, oh, this is in the line. Okay? Good enough. So we will open it up for some questions, and that's more important because I'm sure there are a lot of Bhagavad Gita teachings with best of best teachers around, but I love more of discussions. So if you can have some discussions, some questions, that will be great. Good enough.
I have a question, can I ask?
Yeah, sure. No need to ask, I have a question, shall I ask? You can just unmute and ask questions straight.
Sure.
Yeah.
So according to Bhagavad Gita, like what is the most powerful way to achieve God? Is it like renunciation or is it through selfless service?
See, selfless service means whether it is an action, whether it is a teaching, and renunciation means selfless service. Both are same. What is the difference? You asked whether this or that. What is renunciation? I don't want. What is selfless service? I am doing some service with an intention I don't want. But can I do this? Is it possible for Dr. TPS to give Bhagavad Gita class to one person? Yes, possible. But will I be happy to give to 100 people? Yes, because many people are getting benefited. So selfless service can be for one person. If same time I can give it to 100 people, I will be the most happiest person because I am doing more selfless service, right? Okay, after this, why I am doing this? Oh, after this, Dilip ji will give me some money. I am not worried. I am rich. Rich for my cup of tea. So if I am looking for what are the things which people can look for, only 3 things people can look for in this world. And I am 100% looking for the first thing in that. That is knowledge. I want to fill my Uttar Pradesh more and more. Why do I want to do this? Ask a second question. I want to give it to many more people. I want to give more purified. Therefore, my first intention of having this filling is my selfishness. But if you look at it more closely, that is to serve to somebody else. In Bhagavad Gita, why Arjuna, why Dharmaputra wanted to become king? Oh, they want to become king. They are selfish. Yes. For what purpose? They want to rule this country for a better prevalence of Dharma. Therefore, that is why Arjuna said, I am not interested in Vijayam. But what ultimately Sanjaya said? They have got Sri, they have got Vijayam, they have got everything. Popularity is there. No king can rule a country without popularity. Suppose you are not popular, if I say or Prime Minister says it is one and the same, my words are not valued at all. So you need power and position. How do you reach that power and position? Assume that I am a clerk in the college. I can do only little. But if I am the director of the college, I can do more. So therefore I need power and position. So having power and position is not wrong. So that is not, I want selfish. But if I use that power and position only for my people, selected people. Oh, I got power. Therefore I will only help my people. Then that power and position is with full selfishness. So what is selfless service? Selfless service is nothing there in this world. I want to help with money to a poor fellow. To help somebody with money, what should I have first? I should have money. Where do I get that money from? I must have that selfishness in my life. So it is generally, sometime you have to acquire. After acquisition, what you should do? I don't want. Who can say I don't want? Because I don't get the grapes, I cannot say I don't want the grapes. I have to get grapes and say I don't want. You understood? How can I have detachment? Only first I should have attachment, then only detachment will come. Otherwise attachment has no meaning. I can have only dukkham and sukham. I cannot have, flatness is not there. Sukham, dukkham has to be there. But will I be able to get controlled with that? That's what the Bhagavad Gita says. So Bhagavad Gita is not against acquiring, but you acquire as much as you want for giving to somebody else. So that is what the beautiful philosophy which one of the greatest poets of Kerala kept on saying. There are people who want and they don't want. But then Bharata Sankalpa, Dharma, which says, I want for what? To give to somebody else. Those who had but left everything to everyone else. Those people are the greatest people. That is what is essential. Anybody who can guess that point? I told many times. Somebody who received. Yeah. Asha, unmute.
He is Professor Vishnu Narayan.
Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. I used to be so blessed where I could dial him, ask him questions. Great philosopher and great poet. After retiring as a professor in a college, he became a priest in a temple.
He became a priest.
And then full time was priest. No other business, only priest. And then write poetry.
Who said?
Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. He was.
Was I audible to all of you?
Yeah. Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. So you should have. So nothing wrong in being selfish. But that selfishness is to give to somebody else. I need a place to stand, then only I can lift somebody else. If I don't have a firm place, so I keep telling all my children, don't waste your time. You keep on studying, acquire at the highest position. If you are a collector, you can help the whole district people. But if you started doing all the social service when you are in 10th class and 12th class, the whole life you will become a beggar only. Because you have not earned anything. You will beg from somewhere else and then give it to somebody else. So that is why Bhagavad Gita most importantly says, do your swakarma. Most important is your karma. When somebody comes, a headmaster came to me, I told this many times. Headmaster came to me and then said, sir, I want some contribution from you. We are running an old age home. I said, what are you doing? You are a principal. He was a principal. And that is coming on Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I said, is your school is working? Yeah. Then why are you here? Go and sit in your seat, I said. See, your job is to do that time you have to be in the office. You do it after office hours. But during the office hours, don't do the social service and then skip your office. So you have to be very, very, very specific in understanding what is that karma. So karmam. Bhagavan Krishna says so karma. So dharma. Paradharmam. If you do somebody's job, some job which you are not supposed to do, you keep doing it in the time when you are supposed to do a job, that is paradharma. So when, where, what, how, in front of whom, what time, who does it, for whom you do it, all that matters to say whether you are selfless. So you have to be selfless. That's why always it says you have to do karma for making somebody else happy, not many people. I did all that for my son and daughter. Every buffalo does it. Yeah. Every animal takes care of their children. Every bird also makes nest for their own children. You are not a human being then. You are not a social being. Are you doing somebody who is not related to somebody else? Not my relative. Vasavi Sandhya is not at all related to me. Right? Ajay Kumar is not at all related to me. Yeah, he met me some time back. He kept meeting me sometime. That's it. But I have not charged any money from Ajay. Did I? Ajay Kumar, how many hours of lecture you attended with me? How much money you paid so far? You tell me. When you work in a college as a professor, you know the salary approximately 2 lakhs if I get in a college. And I have to take only 20 hours of class. That's the rule in the UGC. 20 hours class, 2 lakhs is the salary. So you can imagine every hour I should get how much? So any moment which I am investing for somebody else, if I invest in a college and give that lecture, that much salary I will get. But I left all that for what? This is what I am doing. Because, why am I doing it? I am enjoying. Why are you breathing? Because without that you cannot live. So why am I teaching? Because without that I cannot live. Why Iyer Sahib is cleaning the road? Because without that he get more tension. If he clean it, he will be happy. Understood? So don't ask this question, why are you doing it? You are enjoying. So ultimately what is required? That should become your passion. So when it becomes your passion, it is not selfless. It becomes self-actualization. What is that self-actualization? Without tension you are doing it. In passion you are doing it. Therefore it will become like a lifeline for you. It becomes a breathing for you. That is self-actualization. So what are you thinking now? Nothing. I am enjoying my job. Now when I am talking like this, when I am reading this Bhagavad Gita, what am I getting? I am enjoying. Why are you doing it? Because I am enjoying. That's it. So why you should do it? That is self-actualization. Do every job which you do in your life with full passion, where your brain vibration is zero and your manas is in full jal, bliss. Then fine. Good. Yeah. Happy?
Sir,
Are you happy or some more?
Thank you.
Yeah.
sir, I have a question.
Can you come on to video, Sumit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same I asked for the last session as well. So my question is, in this life, does the pratigna or the promise is greater or the dharma is greater? Because if we see the Mahabharata, this Bhishma Pitamaha is on a promise that he will be brahmacharya and will be supporting the king. And the Karna, who is in a promise that he will be supporting the Duryodhana because he gave one small as a king, as a part of king and made him a king. So now these two are like they are bound to the promises. Even though they know that they are going to lose the war and they are on adharma side. So my thing is, in this real world now there is no value for the promise. Now for the silly things, the politicians
Understood.
and all the giving false promise. So
Question
my
is-
question is that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
See, you may not see a direct answer from Bhagavad Gita, but having read many times and consumed it like without my exercise, I used to give lectures when I used to mention there are 3 items which we need to balance in life. And that is role, goal, values. Have a role to play. Bhishma had a role to play. His role was he has to be with the Kuru Vamsha all the time. But what for? For establishment of dharma. But I am the director of the college, but all the lecturers are very bad. They are not committed at all. What should I do? I should quit. But he is not able to quit because he has given a decision that he has taken and oath he has taken, and his word was, I will not quit until I die. And that is value. So he has a role, he has a goal, he has a value. He tried maximum to balance this, but a time came where he is not able to balance. So what he did? His goal of serving Kuru Vamsha, he surrendered. He decided to die. He kept his value. So role, goal, value. And goal is achieved. He has to surrender his goal for a better goal. For a long time goal. From somebody else he made it to do it. So everyone is sure in Mahabharata war is Bhishma did not surrender, the war will not be over, Kauravas will win. But he knew that if he continues, it is not the right thing. Therefore what he did? He surrendered himself. So sometime role, goal, value, assume that I have got my relative who is sick. That day I have got an interview. Generally we ask this to evaluate IAS question also we ask. Suppose you are called for an interview on that day, your closest relative is in hospital. Will you attend interview or you will attend the hospital? Generally we ask. Ajay, Anusha, everybody knows who has had a lot of time with me. They know I keep asking this question. What am I asking? Role, goal, values. How are you going to? Now your sister's marriage, you have 10th examination. What do you do? Board exam is their sister's marriage. You want relatives or you want your... Understood? These are all everyday problem. Or maybe my friend is asking for a movie. My father says that don't go. Should I leave my father or should I leave my friend? The answer is not that same. Okay, now I want internally also problem. I like to eat mirchi bhaji. My buddhi says don't eat because last time when you ate you had dysentery. Stomach pain was there. But my manas says that was last time. This is from a different hotel. Eat. What do? You will listen to your brain or you listen to your manas?
Sir, I will listen to my brain.
Yeah. This is what I am saying. But then immediately after eating, you got stomach pain, then you will say, yeah, I should have listened to my manas. Who is that who says I should have listened to my manas? No, somebody else. Inside you, there is a me, in me, who says I should have listened to my manas. Who is that my, in me, who says I should have listened to my buddhi, who says I should have listened to my manas? That is called Atma. That is what Bhagavad Gita teaches. When you have such conflict, uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Your manas and the buddhi distance has to be shortened so that your atma, manas, buddhi, everything becomes one and the same. Yeah. I think IRG is raising hand for
When I do a
now.
wrong thing, every time my grandmother will tell that your brain and your heart should be connected.
Yeah.
The heart tells wrong and brain tells the correct.
Go to some of the neighboring hospital and ask the doctor to connect it if they can. Yeah.
I have one question, Dr. TPS.
Yeah.
In this chapter, I thought it is the Arjuna's failing in valor, which is getting exposed in a larger context.
Yeah.
No, Arjuna is such a brave man.
Yeah.
He must have seen all these people from Bhishma to Drona to Kripa, all these people he would have seen in life.
Yeah.
But on the stage,
Yeah.
at the war, he is losing his confidence.
Yeah.
There looks to be a dichotomy in the sense that only when he sees these people arrayed against him that he is seeing, or it was already the doubt was there in his mind, and in spite of all the atrocities done by the Kauravas, he lost his nerve.
Understood.
It looks to be a dichotomy to me that Arjuna would have known all these things. If you come to a parliament, you should brief yourself with all the background.
Sure.
You should understand what the question is and then only answer. You cannot come there and say, I have not seen that paper at all. That is a very foolish thing. A wrong comparison, but that's what it is. So Arjuna, I feel, he has let himself down by this exposure. He would have been all right had he stood up. Yes, I want to fight. I want to establish dharma in this world. My weakness for my relatives. This is
Understood.
the question that I am facing.
Understood.
I end it with this, and if you can please thank you.
Understood. See, it is not that all these people are new to Arjuna. It is not that he has not fought war with greater people than. See, you hear in most of our mythology, human fighting war with the Bhagavan also. Bhagavan comes in a different fashion, different style. Guru fights Shishya along with them. There are a lot of competitions. What is that Mahabharata war makes it different from all the earlier fighting? I told in middle once or twice. Mahabharata war says you will have to kill your enemy. There is no running away from this. Assume that IRG can ask questions to me. If I don't answer, I am getting killed means my tension will be more. I am sure that I am in Hyderabad. If I don't answer, if I do some foolish answer also, IRG is not going to kill me. That is the courage Dr. DPS has. But you stand in front of me and give 5,000 people, all of them are raising their hand. If you tell a wrong answer, I am going to kill you. That is what happens in interview. Why people lose their heart? Because there are 10 people sitting in front of them, one fellow there. It's like, that's a real Mahabharata war. If you don't get, you are out of the company. See, when you are in a college, professor can give answer, because if you don't give answer also, no problem. I keep saying most of the teachers are so courageous because not in online, in the regular physical classroom. Because along with the chalk, always the duster is given. They can always rub it. So any mistake, nobody is recording. And why children are so happy to write with because every pencil comes with the eraser at the behind. I keep saying, don't give an eraser. Your mistakes are seen. That is what Mahabharata. Mahabharata, there is no erasing. You cannot run away. Once you have done, it's done. That's it. It is not that the previous day Arjuna doesn't know that these people are my relatives. And not only that, it is not, I am seeing my grandfather, I am seeing my teacher, I am seeing everybody in front of me. At a stretch, no war in this world happened or ever going to happen big or as bigger than Mahabharata war. So for Arjuna also it is one of the first. So this is an array of great people, and who are here? Only very few. There, every Maharathas are there. So therefore, it was a good one. And third one, Arjuna's most favorite person in this world was his grandfather, Bhishma. See, he never fought with Bhishma. Imagine somebody sitting on their lap and then say, you are my baby. From childhood onwards, 2 fingers are given to make him to learn walking. And to that person you have to kill. It will be. And he knows. It is his children also are going to get killed. If they don't win, they are going to get killed. If they win, my grandfather is going to. So do I want to take care of my children or should I take care of my grandfather? This is a big dilemma. I think any person who has got little heart, even though he is the greatest soldier in the world, they will have. Have you not seen all the games which are playing now? Once they fail, you have seen them crying, sobbing, right? 100%. If that is not there, we are not a human being at all. Being human, being kind, by birth, all of us are like that. Only thing with practice, making it slightly stubborn. Not stubborn. It's like Sthita Pratnavastha. So what Bhagavad Gita talks about? Sthita Pratnavastha. So it is not that his emotions are being killed by Krishna. Don't tell this. His emotions are never killed by Krishna. But he says, take it if you want to cry. But for a moment you cry. Immediately take a deep breath and start fighting. So that ability is what Arjuna is also asking as a question to Krishna. Sthita Pratnasya ka bhasha. How should I become like a Sthita Pratna so that I can behave, speak, pretend, act like a Sthita Pratna? And Krishna gives an answer. Dukkheshu anudhiknamana sukheshu vigata spruha vida raga bhaya krodha sthitatir muniruchyate. What a beautiful. So thank you Ayarji for making me to give that answer. See, when good questions are there only, I will also connect and speak like this. Right?
I would like to tell something, Padmanabhanji. Even, because of that action only we got Bhagavad Gita. So we should see the positive side of it. Because of his Hridaya Daurbalyam only we got Bhagavad Gita.
No, but that is like because I could give my blood because somebody met with an accident. I could do social service because somebody is poor there. See, I keep saying when somebody says that I wanted to feed poor people, that means you are praying to have poor people. How do doctors pray in the morning? Oh, let me get 100 cases today. So what is his pray? You know what a tuition teacher will pray? Let everybody not able to learn so that I will get more students for tuition. What do a police will say? Let there be more thieves. I will tell you there is only one group of people who praise everybody to be rich and prosperous. You know who is that?
Beggars. Maybe.
No, beggars also no. Rich people never give. Only thieves. So, jokingly I keep saying, if somebody knows pranayama, they are the thieves who knows. Because if the police comes, or you have seen in cinema and all, right? They will take the key, the master key from the master bedroom, from the mistress, who the key is kept somewhere very close to her body. He will take it. And in between, that person will wake up. He will not even take breath. That breathing is called the pranayama. So if somebody can teach pranayama practically, in some janma they were yeah, Aravind also has hands raised. Aravind.
Actually, that question was related to this. Sometimes we get a false hallucination, like everything is happening for good. In that case, like how we, like for example, that what I feel it is a passive kind of thing, like passive acceptance. If I fail in examination, I think maybe it is good for, but I don't think it is good, right? So that is how to deal with false hallucination.
See, when something comes favorable, We keep saying it's a great blessing. Bhagavan has blessed. Everything has come for us. If something doesn't happen the way we want, we find a justification. So these are not what is to be taken as positive. But how do I make somebody feel good? The whole purpose of somebody talking to you or you yourself talking to you, who speaks to you maximum? It's we ourselves speak maximum. The conversation in this world is to self. I speak to myself. So I want to pacify me from all the knowledge which I have. I remember when in my childhood I never had a footwear. Only I think 10th class, some of my relatives used to gift. We never had even a footwear shop in my village. And the path which I have to take from the road was also not an asphalt tar road, black tar road. It was only a kacha road with a lot of stones, and then we had only one bus which goes with full of dust. From that place to reach my house, it was only one person can walk. Both sides we had muddy compound wall, like a idanai, I don't know what is it called, a corridor. And lot of snakes. I am from a small village, full of snakes. And evening after sunlight, if you have to go there, the heartbeat will become at least 3 times higher. So what do? From the road until we reach house, we will run. How do we run? If we hit on the snake's head, it should die. If it hits, my leg goes into some other part of the snake, before it can hit me, I must take my next step. Even that is how I became a good runner in my childhood. That's why I am lean. That's why I keep saying I am 60 kilograms, because I have finished all my exercise in my life. There is no other way. Right? But then sometime when we run, even a thorn goes into, because it's all without footwear, right? A thorn goes into the leg, we don't even have time to stop. But daytime, when we walk, we stop sometime and then take it out. And I will complain, mother, see, it's not even cleaned. That's why my leg is hurting like this. Then he will say, see, that time when you were looking at the thorn to remove, one snake would have crossed. Actually, Bhagavan is giving a signal to you, stop and let the snake cross, then you can go. See what a great positive stroke is that. But it is actually impractical, it's a useless, we know. But those time it was great. For temporarily we get happiness. So most of them is, see, you don't worry. It is not that you don't worry. If you don't get a job, you should worry. But will I be able to tell somebody else? It is not that practical. Like Yati, Guruji's relative. He was a great practical philosopher who used Bhagavad Gita in his life. After American trip, when he came back to India, some disciples asked him, how is America? Immediately I said, what a beautiful girls. No, all of them only use only shorts and banyan. Is it not that Swamijis cannot speak like this? He can. Nothing wrong. You are pretending that you are a Swamiji, you don't. No, it's not correct. And immediately after that, counseling session starts. Somebody comes and says that, oh Swamiji, I lost my girlfriend. See, America and all, no, every day they will divorce, every day they get married. Why do you worry somebody is lost? And next question, are you so desperate in your life you don't get any other girlfriend in your life? See, I don't think practically we will use these words. What do we say? Yeah, it's true. Because in social system, we cannot apply our logical culture. Lot of things are mingled together. It is not value, it is not life, it is not material life. It is embedded with the culture, society. In some place, if you don't get a job, nothing wrong. In some religious people, they don't get a job. If they pass, they don't get a job. Immediately they will do something else. But some other religious people, they don't do anything else. The other day, 5 years back, 6 years back, midnight, I used to travel throughout Kerala in different places. In some hotel, when we go, somebody was cleaning the table. I asked him, what do you do? He said, I am working in Bangalore in a company, MNC company. And Saturday, Sunday, I come here and I help my father. Rarely we see such people, right? Correct or not? I am sure if you don't get an MNC job, if he wanted to quit, next day he will start this hotel. He don't care whether I have a white collar job or a. There are some something to do with your culture, something to do with your religion, something to do with your family, which makes us to feel good. It is only feeling good, it is not good. There is difference between feeling good, there is looking good, and acting good is also there for some people. They don't feel good, they are also not looking good, but they act like good, no? But much bigger is being good. So Bhagavad Gita talks about being good. It needs, somebody may not even smile, you don't like you, but yeah, they act like, yeah, I'm smiling at you, so you be happy. But internally, Dushtan, Paramadrohi, all that may be going inside their mind. But that doesn't matter, you cannot stop it. So what you speak to somebody else need not have the value system added, it is only to pacify. Pacify is only temporary. But then I am sure every father will say, don't worry, you failed, no problem. If accident happens, don't worry. Good. I keep saying, you missed the bus, don't worry, you get another bus. So what is Dr. TPS philosophy? Once you miss a bus, you get lot of buses. Once you get into a bus, you miss lot of buses.
Either way, you will miss the bus.
Okay, so be careful. Philosophies are different. Practical life, there will be some adjustment done.
Can I add something to your statement?
Sure.
See, I failed in my 4th year engineering. My parents were staying in Allahabad, I was studying in Warangal. I went home with great fear that my father will scold me on this. Then what happened, some 2 subjects, 3 subjects, something went wrong. And in those days we lost a year. There is no carry forward. It's just a story, a real story example I'm giving. I was worried that my father will ask some strong questions, or he may even threaten to discontinue my studies or do something. Then no problem, these 2 subjects or 3 subjects you will easily pass in the next session. But this kind of free time that you are having, make use of it. In Allahabad there used to be one of the best libraries. So you go there and you like to read some Hindi books. You read some Maithili Sharan Gupta or some Premchand. You will feel happy. And he didn't tell me that you go sit down and study and pass the exam. So this is life is something, failure and success has to be taken with some equanimity. And all people who fail do not fail. All people who succeed do not succeed in the end. Life is a different thing. Just my experience. Sorry, I have disturbed you.
No. It's all welcome. See, Aravind, when I failed many exams in my life, I did a lot of mischief. I was one of the most naughtiest person in the whole village. Anything happens, my mother keeps keeping. I lost my father when I was 4 years old, so that freedom was added. When I go back to my mother, immediately she will keep the hand on my head and say, tomorrow you will become a good boy. That was a great blessing. Now I realize it's a great word which says, tomorrow you will become good boy means today you are not a good boy. That's an indirect meaning. So sometimes finding fault also can be with a high positive, right? There is nothing which is closed and open. In mathematics, we have got a set called Klopen. Both closed and open. Half open, half closed. Life is like that. Half open, half closed. Many people don't know. There can be Klopen. The word is there. Mathematically, there is a word called Klopen. Closed and open set is called Klopen. Group is also called Klopen groups. Good enough?
These are man-made examinations, right?
Yeah.
You look at all the animals, are they going to the school and college having an examination, getting first class? They all are living, right? The basic nature. I remember my sister failed in her 10th grade twice. The father got upset and said, send her for learning tayal, means sewing, you know. Mother said, no, I will try it again. So she sent my sister to a convent school and she just passed exam. In the pre-degree she got second class, degree she got first class, in the MA she got the 4th rank. Now she's a state attorney in Kerala. So we never know who will get in any positions. So that's a lie. Can change any time.
But only thing, when they get into higher level only, these stories will be told. But there are thousands of people who failed and become nothing in their life. We will never tell their stories. So don't take failed stories as examples. They are only out of 1 lakh one. Correct? Yeah.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I take 2 minutes? Because this is based on a story, so I have to have the story also. In Mahabharata, there is a story that when the Pandavas, soon after the war, they were going to the heaven, they had to undergo an ordeal, a sort of test. So when they were undergoing, only Yudhishthira or Dharmaputra survived. So when he reached the heaven, he was really surprised to see that all the Kauravas who got killed in the war were there, and they were saying, "Hi, Jeshta, we are here." So he was the only person who was left to be in the heaven. That is among Pandavas, Yudhishthira was the only one who could reach heaven. But at the same time, even before him coming to the heaven, all the Kauravas who got killed were there. So it said that whatever Pandavas have done are just in, according to what dharma. But how did these Kauravas reach heaven if they also, if they are said to have done adharma?
Question is over?
I found this story. Pardon?
Question is over or?
I'm sorry, your question is over.
No, you didn't take 2 minutes, so I thought. Okay.
Okay.
See, you can get scolding, but it also matters from whom you are getting scolding. You can get killed, but you should also know from whom you are getting killed. You understood? If you get scolding from good fellows, it is good. But if you get scolding from bad fellows, that is you are wrong. Your karma is like that, your dharma is like that. So that's why I said, where are you doing, what are you doing, how are you doing, in front of whom, for whom, all that matters. So nothing wrong. It's all part of, that is why we say it's not one janma. Getting to Surga, Naraga is only a temporary resting place. They will again have again birth. Moksha is different from Naraka Surga. Got it? Ishtade labade surgam. You do ishta karma, you go to Surga. If you start doing social service, your karma becomes a societal requirement, then you will go into moksha. Purte moksham avapniyat. Purta karma you do, you get moksha. So, for temporary you do good karma, that's good enough. See, that is what Bhagavan Krishna says. You are not able to finish study in this, you get killed, no problem. Next janma, the half balance, you can take it. So that means even if you die, you will get another janma. That's what Krishna says.
Doctor, can you explain it more in this context more, because I didn't
See,
understand.
assume that you are getting killed by somebody whose vehicle itself is driven by Krishna. So who took him for death? It is Krishna who took them for that death. Imagine what is that all of us are praying. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hey Krishna, please take me, please take me. So actually Kauravas are all killed by Krishna drove them to death. It is Krishna's direction.
Sir, because Krishna killed Kauravas went to
Surga.
Sir?
Yeah. See, even Kulashekar understood it. He is the Raja, Kulashekar Raja. Where are you from, Kulashekar Raja?
I'm from Hyderabad, sir.
Where in Hyderabad?
Secunderabad, sir.
Where in Secunderabad?
Patni Center.
Huh?
Patni Center.
I am also in Hyderabad. I am 2 kilometers away from you. I am in Bovenpalli, Sikku village. Okay,
And
good.
I think
Yeah.
they are in Veera Swargam, I think, not the Swarga what is mentioned
Yeah.
in the.
No, there are different
Very-
categories. We don't know. Only when I go there and come back, I can answer this perfectly. Some questions when you ask, I keep telling, let us meet there and then maybe you can teach Bhagavad Gita to me at that place. Who knows?
No, I don't think so. You are not a Kshatriya or you are fighting war. So I don't think you will reach Veera Swargam.
No, I am a Kshatriya. By birth, I am a Kshatriya.
Okay.
By karma, I would have transferred to a Brahmin. I converted myself with my guru's blessings. But then there is a saying, in war, there are only, what is Veerasorgam? When you get hit in the front, you are Veerasorgam. If you get hit from back, you don't have Veerasorgam. But I'll tell you, in most of the war, no chance, especially in these days. Traditionally, they know each other. Otherwise, if you are going to fight war, the enemies will hit you and only at the chest you can get, not from the back. But assume by fear you come from the other side running back. Definitely these people will also kick them. So both way you will get hit in the front only. Right? So everybody who goes into warfield, anyway we are not fighting for becoming famous. All that is not there. They all die for somebody's purpose only. That is why when somebody dies, the whole nation is in anger. The whole nation is in sorrow. Where do you do, what for you do matters more. See, that soldier who is standing in the border, either he is an Indian or a Pakistan, they don't have any enmity together. They are doing their karma, my person is doing my karma, their person is doing their karma. Say. But assume this person kills 10 people there, he will get a Veera Mudra. He will be decorated. MP will come, MLA will come, everybody will come, his pictures will come in the railway station or airport, everywhere. Flux will be there, everybody claps, everybody shares his photo on Facebook and everything is done. When he comes back to maybe Secunderabad, he is staying in a small place, Patni, and there he found that everybody loves him, but there are some neighbors. One fellow is a drunkard who beats his wife. Every day he is making noise there, lot of mischief, and every person in that village keep praying this man should die, this drunkard should die. So this Veerasorgam fellow took his knife and killed that fellow. What will happen? Immediately Secunderabad, the police will come and arrest him. So there he killed 10 people, he got awards. Here he killed one fellow who was a nuisance, but he got arrested. So where, when, why, who, in front of whom, that is why I said goal matters. So there is no good job and bad job. There is no good karma and bad karma. Dharma associated with karma. In what mood you are doing, for what purpose you are doing, who is directing you to do it. Indian government is directing you to do it. But here same Indian government is directing you not to do such things. Got it? So it is not action which matters. Who is directing for what purpose? That makes your action sa karma or dushta karma. There is no dushta person, there is no Kauravas are bad, Pandavas are good. No, it so happened Bhishma happened to be there for some purpose which was assigned to him. But Bhishma is not bad. Bhishma is deserving much higher than moksha only. Not even Surga. Bhishma is not there. Okay. Good enough? Reserve questions. We need some more questions for the next weeks also, right?
Doctor, may I add something?
Yeah.
This story was really puzzling for me because when you think about the war strategy of Pandavas also, they also did so many unfair practices. Like, how did they kill you, Duryodhana? Krishna helped, right? Actually, helping when somebody is fighting, helping from the outside is not something ethical in war. But he did that. So, this Kauravas reaching heaven even before Pandavas. That was really ambiguity for me.
That's why I said, wait, we have some more days to go. Don't finish all your confusions.
Thank you.
Read Mahabharata is unbelievable. Yeah, and send WhatsApp so that we will be in touch. Earlier I used to post to those people who are in connection with me, but now I am only going to post those people who attended Bhagavad Gita and send me some WhatsApp. I attended. Number one. Second one, what slokas which probably is important from first sloka I mentioned earlier. This is what we are going to teach so that you prepare. Maybe you can chant that and send it. We will post it as a continuation to this. Number two, like what we did in the first class. It was good, no, Dilip ji? Some encouragement somebody has got.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I will also post next week what I am doing, so that if some pronunciation becomes good, when you listen, you know there are different styles. That's why I said in the beginning, Dilip ji and me was telling, from this place to other place, you will see different styles of chanting. So which is correct? Nobody knows. Don't say that no, Chinmaya's chanting is good. We don't know how Shankara chanted because we don't have an audio record. We don't know how Krishna himself chanted because we don't have an audio record. If you look at Yeshudas chanting, different. SP Balasubramaniam, entirely different. Gandashala, I love Gandashala, Andhra. Oh, great. But I cannot even mimic him. That great is his. If you want to look at Gandashala, all Telugu people knows only one voice. That too at the time of death, dead body is there, they will keep. So everybody thought learning Bhagavad Gita is after death. Maybe it's a death ceremony practice. Nothing like that. Okay, good. Thank you. There are pranams, namaskaram. Good.
Are you sending enough for next lecture by any chance?
Once you send it, I will send it to you. I will have to do some survey. Look at second chapter is more difficult because very difficult to find out. Definitely second chapter first few slokas will be the beginning. I will send it as soon as you send me a WhatsApp, and maybe today's chanting also if you can send. I am not putting date. Maybe today, tomorrow. Once I get some 10 or 15. Last time I got 16. That's a good response. So 10-15 people come, I will add it and make a video and then post. That's what I do. Good.
Which slokas we need to send this for this chapter?
These 3-4 slokas which I attended, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, that's good enough, and maybe 47. Some 3-4 slokas. Not necessarily all the slokas because some people may not be able to. Don't strain yourself. It should be enjoyable. Okay.
Sure.
If you enjoy, do it. Some people can casually read it also. That's also good enough. Nothing wrong. I am also reading. Don't think that I am not reading. Because I am going to be public, right? I don't want to make mistakes. Not showing that I learned by heart is not important. I have to chant this and learn. That is more important. So Krish Feathers is also there.